Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this episode we're going to make another Valentine card because so many of you have got so many bows that you want to be able to send your love to over the Valentine period that I've been asked for some more ideas. So what I thought was today's card is something a little bit different actually. Now we're going to use a range of Anna Griffin products. Every item that I use I shall put in a list on my blog, so please be sure to check my blog out because that will give you the name and the title of the item that I've used. So if I've used a die from the All Heart Die collection, it will say the All Heart Die Set 2 or whatever the title is from the set of products I've used. Unless it's an embossing folder, and I always try and put the item of the set of embossing folders and the name of the embossing folder. So please be sure to check my blog out. Please feel free to share any of my projects and please feel free to contact me. I'd love it if you could message me on Facebook or through my blog if you've got questions, because I can't reply to you on YouTube. So please don't be thinking that I'm being rude. It's a glitch in my account. So Facebook and my blog. Okay, housekeeping over. The first thing you're going to want is a base card. I'm using one of Anna's Valentine Pretty Bases for my card. Now also, what you're going to need is a pencil and your drawing capabilities, or half a heart. Now, the ideal thing to do is, if you don't have a half a heart die, is to take a heart die, draw around half of it, and then cut half of it out. Because what we're looking to do is to fold half of the card. So the ideal thing to do is to fold half the card, find, where the middle is, then use your die to draw around just half of it up to the edge of the fold and then cut. I would possibly try and use a craft knife to make sure that we've got a nice clean cut. If that's not possible, use your scissors. I'm not saying you have to do this or you have to do that. You do what's best for you. So make sure it's a nice clean cut. And then we're going to fold half of our card over and stick it down, because we're doing something a little bit different for this card and we just want a little bit of a different shape. So once you've done that, you fold that half over like so that the front of the card looks like that. Then you're going to want your bone folder to make sure we've got that nice sharp edge on not only the fold of the card but the fold where you've turned it over, and you're left with half a heart. Now I'm going to do the inside first. This side is nice and neat. We don't have to do anything with this because we've folded that over and that looks quite pretty. The inside of this card is probably the simplest and quickest inside that I've ever made. I've cut a piece of the Anna Griffin Boxing Day cardstock, and it's the spotty dotty one, and I've cut it just to fit inside our card as a layer, leaving 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And then I've die cut from the All Hearts one set a die, and it's the smallest heart. I haven't embossed it to get the little dots in the middle. I've inked it around the edge and I've taken it through my Xyron machine, and I am simply going to add that through the centre of our card, and that's it for the insert. For the simple reason for this one, I was asked to do something quick but spectacular, and I thought, oh okay, quick but spectacular. So this could be classed as a quick card, and I think it'll be spectacular, but it would be great for a beginner even with the cutting of the heart, might take you a few minutes to master that and practice on a separate piece of cardstock if you want to. But for the centre, we're just going to add our question mark as to who sent our card. So we don't want a sentiment or anything in there. You could add one if you wanted. So now we're going back to the front of our card. And I'm going to make sure that's still a nice sharp crease. And I'm going to start with the base layer. And this is from the All Heart 2 collection of dies from Anna. Again, I've used a paper from the Boxing Day paper set, and it's the same paper with the dots on that we've used for the inside. I've inked it slightly around the edge, and it was on flat double-sided tape, and I'm simply going to add it through the centre of our card, through the centre of the half a heart. Next, I've taken, actually, do you know what? I've just given you the wrong information. The base of the heart, where I've cut it out, I've used the die for this die. I've turned it over, I've drawn around it, and then I've cut it out. I haven't used it as a die. You'll have to forgive me for that. I've cut out the base shadow to go with this. And that's how I did it. I simply turned the die over, drew round it, and then cut it out. So there isn't a die for the scalloped heart. The next heart, I've used the Anna Griffin red foil cardstock. And I have die cut this one though. And simply adding that on 3D foam over the top of the dotty shadow layer. Next, I've cut out from using the Anna Griffin Perfect palette, one of the deep reds in there, and I've cut out the next smaller die in the All Heart 2 set, 3D foam on the back of it, and I'm simply going to add this through the centre of the previous heart, like that. And I'm going to take away that little piece of foam because I don't need it on the edge. The next layer is a smaller heart that I've cut out, and I have used the Love and Easter stamps to stamp this, again on the Anna Griffin Perfect palette, and I'm putting that through the centre of the previous heart. I've got some flowers that are from the favourite flower stickers. I've got, two of the flowers. One is a single and one is a double. I'm throwing them about, aren't I? I'm going to add the single to one side of our heart. You see how I'm slipping the layer over the little sentiment, and then for the two flowers I'm going to add these towards the bottom of our heart, again taking the top of the sticker over our sentiment, pressing them down firmly, and I'm going to finish our card off with a little bow. Now, I've been asked about putting bows over flowers actually previously. Don't worry if you've got a flower and you're putting the bow over it. It's part of your design. You don't have to think, oh, I'm going to move that or I'm going to tweak that. So it can be left. Don't, get strung up about, I'm not covering that up. Some people do, that's fine. On this occasion, I'm quite happy to cover that flower over. Now that is our card finished. I think it was a nice quick card, stands up perfectly. We've got a gorgeous inside, how quick was that inside? How quick was the outside? We've got the foil from the red shining through on the background. It just looks so pretty. And what a great Valentine card. Don't forget, when you use any of the pretty cards, the perfect cards, please fill in your name on the back and the date. So today's the 28th of January. And today is my husband's birthday. Happy birthday, husband. Hope you have a good day. And now all my ladies and gents that are watching me will all be wishing you happy birthday. So that's great. So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this. And, please share it with your crafty friends. And let me know what you think. Is this a card that you would recreate? Maybe you don't like it. Maybe there's something you'd change. Maybe you do like it, but you'd do it in a different colour. So I do love hearing from you. And, it's always great if you can manage to give me a like on YouTube. And even better if you can share my projects. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching. And I shall see you next time.